Here we are back on the homestead, and you're going to come along with us as we take the chickens for freezer camp. This is the night before. They have an appointment at the processor in the morning. I don't have all the necessary stuff to process them on my own, and the processor we take them to is super cheap, like $2.50 a bird. So it's well worth my money to save my time. What we're going to do now is we're going to top off their water, make sure they still have plenty of water, but we're going to take their food out. It's about 5 o'clock the night before. I'll take them in first thing in the morning tomorrow, so this way they can go at least 12 hours, 12 to 18 hours without any food, and make it a little bit easier on the guys when they're cleaning tomorrow. See, I'm still close enough to the house to use the hose. Get on in here and you can see how big they are. They got some food left from this morning, but we're going to take that out. Let's give it to my other birds. You see, I'd say this guy weighs over 10 pounds alive. Some of these are probably going to dress out 7 pounds at least butchered. We'll weigh them all when we're done and find out, but these are some pretty big birds. You can see how big they were there. They're only 8.5 weeks, and these guys got huge. So hopefully we'll have a good yield from them, and you'll see tomorrow how things work out. Here we are back at it in the morning, ready to get these guys loaded up and head to the processor. So the biggest reason why I made this tractor with the fully opening lid was for this reason. Previous one, you could only lift up half of it, and when you try to get the chickens out for like a day like today, they'd all run under the side you couldn't lift up, and it was a pain in the butt to get them out. So now that I can lift this fully up, I can get in there and get them all pretty easily. Time to get them loaded up and get them out of here. I just use these chicken crates. I got mine off of Amazon. All sorts of places you can get them. You can build your own. It was just easier to buy some. I got 14 birds, so we get 7 in each. Sorry about the truck passing there. You want them in here nice and tight. That way they're not running around and pecking at each other and bouncing around in the truck. All you gotta do now is try to catch them and get them in here. Now that they're all in there, they've settled down, they're packed in there nice and tight, where they can't really fight or anything. Comforts them being in there, squished together. So I'm gonna pull the truck down, get these guys loaded up, and head on to the processor. Oh, it's heavier than I thought. I guess that is like 70, 80 pounds of chicken in there. Usually when we do this, I got 6 of these in here, and it fills up the bed at just about right. You can see I got that bar in there right now, just to keep these guys from sliding around while they're in here, since there's only 2. Oh. Alright, here we go. About a half-hour drive to the processor here, so not too bad. Probably won't be filming there. A lot of people don't like that. It's here we are driving down the lane to the processor. Like I said, I'm not going to film there just to respect other people's privacy. It is an Illinois state inspected facility, so it's a custom processor, which means they cut up the stuff for you, not for resale. It's not USDA, so I can't like sell it across state lines. Can sell some of the stuff in Illinois. Chickens, I know I can. I'm not really looking to sell these anyway. I'm not really sure about the other stuff. Sheep and stuff, we'll figure that out when we get to there. But yeah, I'm about here, so just dropped them off on this beautiful morning. You can see how gorgeous it is out today. It's that time of year in northern Illinois where, like you saw earlier in the video, I was in shorts and t-shirt last night messing with them. I am in jeans and a insulated shirt this morning, but it's supposed to be in the 80s this afternoon, so can't make up its mind this time of year in northern Illinois, most of the Midwest. So if you live here, you know what I'm talking about. It's 8:30 in the morning, drop the birds off, pick them up probably about 1 o'clock, the guy said, so not too bad. And we will have them all, I have them halved. We'll weigh the halves and just do the math when we're done. So you can see what kind of yield we got from these guys. But they're so big, I'm gonna have them halved and bagged in halves. That way we don't have to cook up a whole giant bird every time we want some chicken. Now that we are waiting for the birds at the processor, I gotta figure out where to put the chicken tractor. Don't really have a good permanent spot for it, but I figured this is one of our gardens here. I'm not going to be using this for at least 6 months. Got a nice spot here. I think I'm just going to park it here for now. It gives me 6 months to figure out what to do with it. I know I'm delaying the inevitable, but by then we'll probably want to do another run of birds anyway. So I'm just going to park it right here on this garden, on the fabric here. Sit here all winter, be out of the way, and not have to worry about it. So let's grab the tractor. We'll pull it on up most of the way with the tractor, then I'll back it in by hand, but I'm not going to drag it through the whole yard by hand when I've got equipment that I can use to move it. we go. Just got it up here, had it all the way up so it'd turn easier. And now that it's up here, we lowered the back end down a little bit, the front end on blocks just so it's not sitting on the ground, rotting out the wood. Should stay here just fine this winter. Got the lid facing the other way, or prevailing winds come from the direction of the tractor there. So should keep the wind down. We got it, or the lid down. We got it latched off and everything anyway. So it's gonna sit here for 6 months or so until we're ready to go again. Well, the rooster's fitting for us being back with the chickens. Got my helper here holding up a half. So I had them all halved because they did come out pretty big. Our processor just puts them in these bags. They're not shrink bags or anything. They're thick freezer bags. Throw them in the freezer just like this. And she thought it was kind of gross. That's why she's got a glove on. But this is about the average of what we got. Did some math here. So, averaged out at 3.57 pounds per half. So that puts us at an average chicken size of 7.14 pounds. So like I said, I figured those would butcher out about 7 pounds. I'm doing the math of our smallest two halves. Our smallest bird was 5 3/4 pounds, and our biggest bird was 8.6 pounds. Did the math, rough math on how much we spend on them. About $50 to get the actual chickens when we bought them, the hatchlings from the farm store. Went through about 3 1/4 bags of chicken feed, so that's about $65 at $20 a bag. And then our processing, it was like $3.50, a little bit, $3.60 a bird. That's including having them, so they charge a little bit more for cutting them in half, and then an extra 20 cents for some extra bags. So our processing was at $53. Let's say $50. So about $165 between feed, birds, and processing is what we got into these, and came out to 99.95 pounds. So 100 pounds at $165. We spent $1.65 a pound on bone-in chicken. So yeah, $1.65 a pound for farm-raised, good, rotationally grazed chicken. Can't argue with that at all. Not sure how much it costs at the store. Look that up and I'll get back to you on that. Shy here's got to check out the chicken. Yeah, I know, it smells good. So I looked up the cost just of bone-in legs at Walmart. It comes out to $1.27 a pound. We spent $1.65 a pound for. I didn't get organic feed, but can you back up a little bit? Thank you. I didn't get organic feed, but still, for farm-raised chicken, you know where it came from, you know how it was raised. It wasn't raised in its own poop. It got rotated every day, every other day. Eating fresh grass and bugs every day. $1.65 a pound compared to the $1.27 a pound at Walmart. You can't argue over 20 cents a pound for something that's twice as good, if not more. So if you got the opportunity to do your own chickens, it is well worth it. Like I said, even with the processing, $1.65 a pound. I know I said that a lot, but I'm amazed by how cheap this ended up this year. We had 15 birds, ended up with 14 at the end. Lost one a little bit through. But yeah, came out great. Yeah, these bags aren't sealed the best. It's dripping a little bit. They'll freeze up just fine. We've had some in our freezer for a couple years. Cooked them up, ate them, tasted great. So yeah, thanks for joining us on our trip to freezer camp here. That's where they're heading next. Got to carry the 100 pounds of chicken down to the basement to the freezers. So join us next time. Like and subscribe. Keep update with what we're doing here on the farm. See more of these chickens in the spring, hopefully. And join us for the rest of the animal adventures as well. Thank you.